Hey everyone, Couch Investor back with an exciting video for you today. So a lot of you have been asking me to do a video with Chicken Genius again because my first video with him was such a success. Since that first video, we went from 1,000 subscribers to hopefully today 6,000. So I want to thank everyone that has been subscribing to this channel. I really appreciate that. And if you're new to this channel, I would really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. So in this video, we're going to talk about Square, Lemonade, Tesla, and lots of more interesting stuff. And towards the end of this video, I will be talking about reaching a goal of mine, something that Chicken has been doing on his channel as well lately. It has something to do with giving back to charity, giving back to everybody that has supported me. So stay tuned for that. But right now, I'll leave you to this interview. Enjoy. Hey.
Yo, hi.
How are you?
All right. How are you?
Good. Just had a little stress here with my Zoom because I upgraded it, but it didn't change anything. So
I see. No problem.
good. So have you been since the last video?
Yeah, it's been a while. Huh? I think how long was that? 6 months?
I think yeah, it was this summer. So a lot has changed. A lot has changed for Tesla, for the stock market, for the world actually. So it's been pretty insane.
Awesome. I've seen your audience growing too. I like your content. I still do watch. I think you are a lot more updated than me for some stocks. Yeah, I'm like a bit lost.
Yeah, I'm more now into like Lemonade and Square. So big focus on those two. So nice because it's pretty cool company. It's pretty young still.
Yeah. It's cool. I do watch your content on Lemonade and Square. Yeah, you're a lot more updated. But probably today's talk we can talk about like what do we see the future is and stuff like that.
For sure. So first up, I did a little research and I read that you were an options investor at the beginning.
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
So I wanted to ask you a bit about that. Why options investing, and are you still doing it now?
Okay, I used to do options investing because I feel that options brings lower risk than the actual stock itself if you know what you're doing. Like I was doing like lead calls, a certain like you have the same upside, but your downside is like 20% with the same upside. Obviously, my options were never leveraged, but for when it hit Tesla, it's totally different game. The call options were really expensive. The premium is over the top. So I think buy stock is still a better way. Yeah, so I used to teach options, but in the case of Tesla, it doesn't make sense to use options. So it's pretty dynamic. Like I used to invest in Apple and Facebook. Options make a lot more sense because if you're looking at the implied volatility of options, it just makes total sense to do like long lead calls on Apple. You have the same upside with a downside of about 20%. So that is a pretty good way to invest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty because I was like pretty surprised to see options there at the start. So I was like, okay, maybe I ask you that.
Sure. I think there's no one perfect way to invest. I think like throughout time, as time goes by, the way we invest should change accordingly to what's out there on the market. There's no like one perfect way. So last time the option makes sense. Yes, it absolutely did. But I think after a while, I noticed there's a certain shift and it doesn't apply to Tesla being the most awesome company I think nowadays. Yeah, so sure. Just buy stock. Yeah.
Still undervalued.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. Now, so did you want to say something before I jumped into the options subject?
Oh, also, are we going to start the recording now?
Yeah.
Sorry, what do you mean?
It started automatically.
Oh.
So.
Oh yeah. Okay. So nothing. I just saw your channel like 5,000 views, and I'm like, wow, super impressed. It's good.
Yeah,
it's good.
So it's almost. I think this will be published. I think Thursday or something. So hopefully by then it will be. I think 6,000 subscribers. So it's pretty awesome. Pretty good way to end the year.
Great. Super pleased. I like the way you cover stuff and straight to the point and stuff. So it's good.
Yeah, no, I took your feedback, and so the videos are now way shorter, more direct. So it's pretty good. So I went actually over the last conversation, and there was something very interesting when we talked about the Tesla autonomous fleet and robo taxis.
Yes.
So you give it a time horizon of at least 5 years until we will see that. Has something changed now that you've seen like some beta testers, beta drivers driving with FSD beta mode?
Oh, it's crazy, man. Oh, I do not I do not believe what Elon is saying. He said next year it's going to be out. It's to me it's still a little bit too fast. Dojo is still not completed. I guess Dojo is the supercomputer that Tesla is building. The reason why they are building Dojo is because they are not allowed to use the TPU that Google has, because it comes in compete with directly Google's autonomous driving. So they had to build their own TPU. And when Dojo comes out, I guess the purpose of Dojo is to go like we call it the march of knives. Make sure everything is 99.999% correct or 99.99999% correct. So other than that, I can't believe that full self-driving is out so fast. And seeing the videos, do you watch the videos?
Yeah, like on Twitter, every day there's somebody else that uploads a video. It's pretty impressive, especially
Yeah.
the roundabouts and then the way it melts in the traffic. Pretty insane. And
Yes,
that's
yes.
the beta
It
version.
moves. Yes, and it moves like human being. So you like sneak out a little bit and take a look, sneak out, and yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, that's pretty amazing.
So you
I remember you did mention you are using mobile eyes technology that you're using personally.
yeah, so it's integrated in the car. It's not
Mhm.
full self-driving, it's not autonomous, but it does like beep and tell you when you're like moving closer to a car or when you go over a line. So it starts beeping and alerting. Obviously, it collects all that data to see whether you can drive like a normal human or not. But yeah, it's not at Tesla's level, at least not in my car. But I believe
I
in
see.
some cars it's more advanced.
I see. Oh, that's good to hear your experience because I have not heard anybody's experience on the mobile eye.
Now, also it's better if you have Mobileye, you pay less insurance because you have Mobileye. So obviously, the insurance can then check with the system if that's your fault, if you're a reckless driver or whatever. And I think that's something Tesla and Elon Musk will probably go into later, this Tesla insurance. But
Yes.
yeah, no, for now it's pretty basic. The Mobileye I have in the car, it's pretty basic.
Mhm.
Just alerts you if you're too close to a car, if you're driving too fast to if you go over the lines on a highway, whatever, then it starts beeping to alert you get back in line, etc.
Oh, awesome. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Tesla insurance, there's a lot of things to it. I think he did mention if the system detects that you are quite an unsafe driver, yeah, it will actually increase your insurance premium. So that is pretty awesome.
Yeah, no, it's so that's actually I'm going into the next subject with Lemonade here. Could
Yeah.
because I think he mentioned in his it was at a Goldman Sachs conference last week. So I think he mentioned very briefly after he said that they're going into life insurance, he said something about car insurance and then all the other products that they might be releasing. So do you think
Mm.
this is going to be like very difficult for them to compete with the likes of Tesla for car insurance?
I didn't watch the Goldman Sachs interview. I was watching it halfway. Okay, this is my take behind it. I did watch Daniel Schreiber.
Yeah.
He was talking. I multiple interviews. In fact, all I could like quite safely say I watched almost all his interviews. And I remember quite vaguely in one of the interviews he said that he knows Tesla has insurance. He is not going into the motor insurance. That was what he said. But having said that, the insurance, like the whole insurance business, it is so huge. It is so big. There is no such thing as you can swallow up the whole pie. It's too big. It's like there's no way you can dominate the entire industry. So let's say if Lemonade wants to go to motor insurance, I believe they could, but I pretty sure that I heard him say that they are not touching motor insurance for now. So I'm not too sure if he updated anything during the Goldman
Yeah,
Sachs
but
interview.
it said it's probably in the future because now with the life insurance coming up, probably after the pandemic is over, they're probably going to open up for travel, which makes total sense. It's pretty
Mhm.
easy insurance, so just
Yeah.
food for thought because I think it's a big industry. It's like a huge industry, and people keep saying, "Oh, Lemonade is going to fail."
There are like nothing new regarding other investors. But if you look at their market cap right now is what? It's $5 billion
It's 5 billion.
in a market of what $1 trillion in insurance revenue of $100 billion per year. It's pretty insane that people are still like not willing to even bet a little bit on Lemonade just for the sake of it, because who knows what might happen.
Exactly. Actually, I have an argument for Lemonade. I have a case that it goes to 100 billion. So this is probably my 5 to 10 year target to 100 billion. That means from now it's about 20x. My case is this. Lemonade, I think a lot of people miss this out, is that they specifically mentioned that they are building it on a digital substrate. I'm not too sure if you hear this during their interview. I have to emphasize this on the digital substrate, because the traditional industries, they have systems on systems on systems, like let's say there's a claim that goes through that lawyer and goes through this, goes through that. It has a very, very big system, HR wise, everything wise, the whole structure is like a massive spider web. But in Lemonade's case, their spider web is all in a digital substrate, so it's very easily scalable. So they can immediately like go to another country and they apply this, and they can scale quickly. And if you have watched a few of his videos, you'll notice that he talks about he doesn't want a product that can be 10% better, 20% better. He wants 10 times better, and this is the reason that they are working towards. And it's just a pretty much no-brainer. It's like you are going after the biggest pie ever, and you just go for it. The risk to rewards are quite it's quite very little, considered little risk for very, very extremely high amount of reward. So my goal is 100 billion, so it's 20x from now.
For sure, like I said this a couple of times, you can compare this to, let's say, Amazon and Walmart. When they started, Amazon started, everybody thought, it's just an online bookstore. Walmart would probably buy them if they become too big.
Yes.
A few years later, Amazon is one of the biggest companies in the world, and Walmart is still Walmart, but way smaller than what they thought. I think they also said that in recent interviews, I think with Dave Lee, I believe, is that traditional insurance maker are like, there's this one that stays in the United States, and then there's those ones that stay in Europe, and that's it. Like they never go from one continent to the other, and that's something like Lemonade is already doing right now. It's just they will be going worldwide, so it's pretty insane actually to see them already going into Europe. They're like 3-4 years old, and that's pretty young. Also to IPO at a 3 years old age is pretty insane. But
crazy, yeah.
I think it's also at their advantage to go IPO and get that public exposure of the brand. For them, I think it's a win-win, and they get the cash from us, the investor, and then they get the exposure from the media and the social market. So it's pretty good, if you ask me. Pretty rare to see a young company go IPO so soon, but pretty cool.
They have the perfect signature of a disrupting company. Recently in a video I did, there's this book on the innovator's dilemma. So when you are looking at disruption, usually the companies start out like they take a small percent of market share, and when you see the growth is like 100%, 200%, which is exactly what Lemonade is giving. Like I think the last update was 100% growth year over year, or something like that. Okay, I can't remember the numbers.
Very close to the hundreds.
Yeah, I mean, that is nuts. I mean that's crazy growth, and I don't expect anything like more or less from them. It is how disruption starts, and here we are.
Especially during a pandemic when everybody thought they're not going to grow that fast. They're like, their users, it's almost at a million users, right? 1 million customers right now. It's pretty insane actually.
Yes, it's crazy. I remember during Q2 call, he did during Q2 2020, he said that Q3 2020 is going to be not so really good. Yeah, but and the stock price came down, but I don't think it's correlated. I think he underestimated his own company, because again, in like disruption companies, it actually gains traction. No matter what shitty situation you throw it in, usually it will come out stronger. And true enough, in Q3, the numbers just blew everybody away. And I expect the numbers to continue blowing people away. That's why that was one of the reasons I got rid of Illumina. Yeah, the numbers were crap, and I screw you. So it's very obvious to see. This year, 2020 is an amazing year because this is a year where is as clear as day and night which companies are doing well and which companies are not doing well. If you are talking about 2017, 2018, I probably wouldn't be able to tell because any donkey company can do well. Generally, if you just do the right thing, you'll be fine. But not in 2020. You need to be really good to be doing well.
Yeah,
So
2020 is like this stress test that all the companies in the world suddenly got it. And those that do well survive. Those that don't, they probably will fail and fail probably miserably.
Yes. So 2020 is one of the best years to invest. I've been invested for many years. 2020 is as clear as day and night. I mean, it's so simple to tell. So 2020 has been a good year for investors, but generally, life is not really that good. But yeah.
No, it's a good year for investors that want to learn something very, very fast because 2020 has been a roller coaster. You've seen the ups, the downs, the uncertainties. It's actually a pretty good market to go into and start learning something by yourself because it's during 2017, 2018, 2019 when everything was all well, maybe a trade war here and there, but you couldn't really learn anything. So it's overall pretty good year for an investment point of view, 2020.
Yes, definitely.
So I don't know if you looked at it, but somebody tweeted about the Lemonade API and all their capabilities that they could be doing moving forward.
Oh, I didn't see that.
So I looked at it and I was like very, very surprised to the extent where they could go. So for example, if you have like a smart home or whatever, let's say the Amazon Ring, so that doorbell with camera and whatnot, there is a possibility to integrate Lemonade's API with that. And so they can calculate the risk of your home insurance if you leave your door open, if the stove is open, the oven is still open. So they all calculate and gather that data and to calculate your homeowner's insurance, whether it will be more expensive, less expensive, etc. So I was like thinking about all the possibilities that they can do with this Lemonade, like line of codes and whatnot. It's pretty insane. Like you can integrate it in your website if you want, your business, whatnot, your cameras if they're smart enough. So like
wow.
It's pretty cool. Like when he showed me that, I was like very, very impressed.
I'm impressed. Yeah, that's pretty good. I heard Daniel talking about this too, like regarding like insurance premiums. Nothing to do with API, but they generally talk about like same thing about the home. Like if you lock your house, the insurance premium will drop. Or he also talk about people who pay their insurance premium on time tend to not get claims because they are just more stable people. Mm-hmm. So there's so much to learn from everything.
Because I watched your interview with Dave Lee, so he asked about the data collection of Lemonade. Where do they get their data if there's such a big advantage on that? So actually, I wanted to add this API thing to that equation. And also, there is this, I talked about this in my last video, a bot called Cooper, which basically scans and takes data from a NASA satellite twice a day to calculate if there are bushfires, if there is like a typhoon coming up and whatnot. And if there is, then the affected area gets like an alert. All the campaigns from Facebook get pulled. Everybody that has a policy and whatnot gets an alert. So like if Dave Lee watches this, this might answer some of his points. Like the data collection starts from a marketing campaign all the way to the user acquisition and actually the users interacting with Lemonade's platform. So there's a lot of data collecting from users, whether they like it or not.
I see. Oh, awesome. Yeah. All right. That's something new I learned. Actually, it was after Dave's interview. I like his interview because he's usually quite skeptical, and because he's skeptical, he actually pushes me to. I was actually researching a lot on Bitcoin after that. I'm like, okay, I valid. So I went to search a lot on crypto. So anyway, back to Lemonade. It was very interesting to. After his interview, what I did, I actually researched on the CTO. I think his name is Shao. I can't remember his name. Shai. Shai or something like that. That was his name. CTO of Lemonade, and this guy is pretty awesome, man.
Oh, the co-founder.
Yeah,
The one that
co-founder
also
and
founded Fiverr. Yes.
yeah. I can't remember his name. Shai, is
Yeah,
it?
Shy. Yeah.
Yeah, Shai. Yeah. So I looked up him because to me, if Lemonade's AI doesn't work, it's going to fail. So it's actually mostly reliant on Shai. So I did look him up, and this guy is amazing, man. So yeah.
And to have two publicly traded companies right now, like two huge one and pretty young, is pretty insane. I think the management is very, very good. Like him, Daniel, the CFO as well, very good CFO. It's
Yes.
it's pretty good. They also have one in their team called Dan Ariely. He's like a behavioral economist expert worldwide. So
Yes.
like
Yes.
they took him for all the analysis of claims and not claims and being a friendly insurance company compared to the other that only want to take your money and not give it back. So like the
Yes.
team behind the company, I have like a super strong conviction in that team.
Yes, actually, to add one more thing, I caught this on Shai's interview. Like, I think he spoke like 3 years back, or it's a very old interview, 3 or 4 years back, where he just started Lemonade and he had Fiverr. So the structure of Fiverr and Lemonade is pretty different. He did mention that he loves the culture at Lemonade compared to Fiverr because when you have too many people in Fiverr, it's like you get a lot of politics and stuff. So the Lemonade team this time he focused on a very lean team, but it's really much scalable. So there was this whole thing about he interviewing every single person who works for Lemonade. He will do his interview, nobody else. So the final stage is him, and he passes or fails the person. Yeah, so it's pretty amazing on what he does. I do believe he's one of the better AI guys out there, since he has a lot of good track record. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's pretty good to know that like such a company that goes into an industry where actually none of them really has so much an expertise in that market, to have such confidence in them.
Yes.
So actually it goes to my next point, which is Square, another great company, because I actually wanted to compare like Square to Lemonade by the ecosystem that they're both building. So Lemonade, the ecosystem of like, you can enter Square's ecosystem with pet insurance, homeowners, renters, life and whatnot. Same thing like with Square, you can start with Cash App or from the seller site, and then obviously you gather and maybe sign up to lots of more products. So actually there's a video that is releasing, I think today, that I'm talking about what's missing for Square and what can bring them to that, closer to that $1 trillion magic market cap. And that's the pay with Cash App.
Oh, yeah.
Like pay with
I agree
PayPal,
with
pay
you.
with Cash App. I think this is something that for me is missing very, very much, especially in 2020, because you can create your website, you can do e-commerce with Square, and it sounds, maybe it sounds a bit stupid, but it's something that should have been there maybe for this year, especially with everybody that goes online, to have like this checkout button, maybe not for eBay or whatnot, but for websites that were created by Square, by Square merchants, to have this checkout with Cash App. Like for me, that's a huge market. It's like for PayPal, I think it's almost close to $300 billion in revenue or whatnot. It's 3-point-something billion transactions per year. It's insane.
Yes, it's crazy. My thing behind that is, okay, I do agree. While that is awesome, I personally think that there is more they need to do to hit $1 trillion, because to me personally, that is something that everybody is doing. And when Square is doing something that everybody is doing, that might not do it for me. My probably I like to sub to me my biggest point for Square is, okay, if you are looking at 2025 revenues or stuff, I mean, if you just project forward, two main areas where they are earning the most revenue. Number one is transactional base. Basically, they transact, you get a bit of money. This is where you're mentioning to talk about the extra money coming in, the little bit of percentage with Square checkout, if there is any. But the biggest bull case, and this is quite in line with ARK Invest, which is their subscription and their services. So that one is projected to be at least I think 20 to 30 billion. I can't remember the number, but I did my own projection outwards in one of my videos. Yeah, so the subscription and service, that particular line is 20 to 30 billion. And that is like 4-5 times more than transactional base. Basically, we want users to do everything on the Cash app, like you buy stock, you buy Bitcoin, you do everything. You go to the grocery stores.
Taxes
and
now.
Yeah, taxes now. Yes, exactly. You're right. And if you have everything in one platform, that is the one that is going to bring you to that $1 trillion mark, man. So I don't see PayPal doing this personally. I don't see any other company doing this as well. I know in Europe you talk about Revolt.
Revolut,
I'm not
yeah,
too.
but it's
Yeah,
nothing. Like I'm waiting until Cash App comes to Europe to actually have it and delete my Revolut. I just use it to send maybe when we go out with friends, so somebody pays the bill and then we split it up or whatnot. But I don't really do anything with that right now.
I see. Yes, it's right, and I think Square is doing the right direction because I'm still researching. I'm not exactly right. You can't like this is not facts because I'm not really clear, but I know it's roughly like that. If you are comparing like Robinhood, Revolut, and stuff. Let's say for example you buy Bitcoin, you don't actually buy the Bitcoin. I don't think you can even send the Bitcoin to the wallet. It's like some kind of they use a derivative, like you buy contracts. So
Yeah,
under
CFDs.
at the back. Yeah, CFD. So it's behind the backend. So people think that they may own Bitcoin, but they actually do not. But Square's Cash App gives you access to the actual Bitcoin, and you could transact with that. So that is pretty amazing. So Square is doing something that everybody else is not doing, and that is my bullish case. Yeah.
Yeah, no, so I looked at Cash App's Instagram because they have 1.5 million followers on their Instagram, and then I looked at Venmo's, which is PayPal's Cash App, let's say, and you want to guess how much followers they have?
Well, let me guess. Venmo used to be more popular in Cash App. Probably 1 million.
40 something thousand.
No way. That's a joke.
Yeah. I think that's like, it speaks for itself. Like Cash App is so much more into the younger generation. Like they're sponsoring esports teams. Like they have deals with this, I don't know, McDonald's or Chipotle or whatnot. I think that like the target audience is basically for the future. I think PayPal is more people that already know PayPal since it started and whatnot. And you can basically see that on their social media. One has 1.5 million, the other is only in the 40,000s of followers.
40,000, that's a joke for Venmo.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. That's quite interesting.
I was very, very surprised to see. I was like, what is this? I was like, okay.
I mean, okay, regarding that fact, I still have one very important fact, which is really my bull thesis behind Square too. Something a lot of people, because I get a lot of people commenting, what about PayPal, that kind of stuff, Visa. Of all the payment companies out there, the only CEO which have the most skin in the game is Jack Dorsey, because he owns like 20+% of Square. Like he owns 20+% of Square. If you look at PayPal CEO, no, he doesn't. In fact, he sells away his stock. So I mean, they just do it for the sake of doing it. In fact, if you heard PayPal CEO talk about why they did Bitcoins, because they had to, that kind of thing. They didn't believe in it. So if you are looking at like management, CEO with skin in the game, Jack Dorsey is just like another Elon Musk and like Lemonade, where these CEOs that really have big amount of shares in the company, and yeah, I mean the values are aligned. So that's something that most people don't look at, is that the skin in the game.
Yeah, no, for sure. Do you see any struggle for Square to move forward and grow even more and more? I don't know if you have any products that you would like them to add, maybe obviously grow worldwide, going to Europe, going to Asia. Obviously, Africa is going to be a very, very big market for Square.
Yes. Yes. I think the only way they can grow is through acquisition, because companies there has already passed the regulation loops there. So I think that's the fastest way to grow, by acquisition. I believe now with Square's market cap, that they could do it, just acquire it's quite cheap to them to acquire companies. I think they recently acquired somebody in Europe to expand into Europe.
Yeah.
Although it's going to take a very long time.
Yeah, a Spanish P2P company for them. Yeah.
Yeah, so probably that is they need to do more acquisition wise, but it's still going to take some time. So Jack Dorsey do know that I in his interviews, like again, when I invest, I really watch all of Jack Dorsey's video to really put myself in his shoes and feel like him. I mean, I don't feel like him, like he looks like a homeless guy now. But
Yeah,
anyway,
the Jack Dorsey from Twitter. It's not the same one.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. So anyway, I want to feel like what they think. That's why I really watch hours of them. And Jack Dorsey does know that that's the limitation. And there's only one way you can get around all this is cryptocurrency. I mean, there's no other way. Like I could send you Bitcoin now, and nobody in the world can stop me from doing that. But if you're doing traditional systems, it's going to be pretty slow. And yeah, so Jack Dorsey is doing. So what I want to see from Square is, I hope they solve the Lightning Network. They've been working on it for quite a while. I haven't seen any updates on the Lightning Network, the layer 2. So that is something I would like to see from Square.
Where do you see Square going, like, let's say until 2025? Let's say in a year, we're 2025. What would you like to see Square already reaching by that year?
In terms of stock price?
No, stock price or the company itself, or both.
The company itself. Wow. I mean, if you are looking at status quo, like growth at 20% a year, 50% a year, that is utterly given. But I'm not looking for the 20-50% a year. Sometimes you need certain events to explode to get the company soaring really high. And the only way is the collapse of the financial system. Like, I don't know how to say it. I mean, don't I hope it doesn't happen. But I think in Asia we call it touch wood.
Yeah.
Like don't. Yeah, but I mean, for Square to really fly in valuation, the financial system must be rocked, and a lot of people will be moving to the Square's ecosystem. And that is where I see Square moving really high. But status quo, if nothing happens and just slow growth, I believe in 2025, stock price will be about $400.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Like with ARK Invest's valuation, especially for Cash App's growth, is going to be incredible. Like the more and more they grow, the more you can see they're basically becoming this, like I've been saying, like this next generation bank, whether they like it or not, because they're always denying that we don't want to compete with banks, but eventually that's exactly what they are doing. They're helping businesses, giving out loans, basically a bank, but a better one.
Yes. There's only one thing I'm questioning Square about. I'm not too sure if I hope you can answer this. If not, we can continue to do some research. But I'm not comfortable that they are counting Bitcoin as revenue. Yeah, I do not know why. I'm still researching. I don't understand why must they do that. Is it because the balance sheet? Because of it's like, if you sell $100 of Bitcoin, they take that as revenue. I'm like, no, you should use commission as revenue. I mean, as profit, not as
they keep
the total amount.
They keep writing on the side, oh, this is excluding Bitcoin because this and that. But like, why do that in the first place? Like, doing a part sheet for just your Bitcoin trading, because it's also a weird way to calculate this part of the revenue, which is, I don't know, pretty weird. Maybe they just want to point out and glorify the numbers regarding Bitcoin and whatnot. But yeah, moving forward, I hope they will change that.
Yes, me too.
Actually, I compare again with Lemonade's growth to Square. Square obviously became big because they focused on those people that are unbanked and the areas that are not developed and not helped by the banks. I think we can compare that to what Lemonade is also doing, like growing into these areas where people, maybe regular insurance is maybe too expensive for them. People don't really like to go and see those huge buildings and be there and wait for 30 minutes to actually sign up, be on the phone and whatnot. Like, we can see that. I think their biggest market, California, New York, but Texas is also pretty pretty big for them, and like they're moving towards those areas that are probably underserved, and people aren't happy with that as well. Like I saw a tweet today about someone that tweeted, I was like, I was on the phone for 30 minutes with MetLife, and they still didn't give me an answer. So I was like,
yes. Yeah, you're right. Actually, touching on that point, it's the same both regarding Lemonade and Square. This year Jack Dorsey is supposed to go South Africa to spend for 6 months there, and the Twitter board were like pissed off at him until COVID hit. So he has no choice but to be stuck. But I guess his mission there was to serve the unbanked. So yeah, imagine Africa is a really big economy there, and if he could penetrate Africa, I guess that would really surge Square's evaluation. So yeah, that could be added to our previous discussion.
Yeah.
And regarding Lemonade, one of the facts that I do know that most of their customers are not the customers that had previously insurance. They are just brand new to insurance. 75% of customers of theirs is first-time insurance buyers, something like that. So that is like mind-blowing. I mean, this shows to say most people are like, screw insurance, I'm not going to waste my time. But since it's so easy, let me just use Lemonade.
Yeah,
it's just out of convenience. Yeah,
it's easy and it's pretty cheap. But I think that number will change because now that they're entering European markets, in lots of European countries, insurance is something you have to have if you're a homeowner or whatnot.
Oh,
so right. So maybe those numbers will probably change. But yeah, in the United States, it was pretty amazing to see that a lot of their customers are just new people that never had insurance before, which for me it's pretty insane. But for it's free advertising.
Lemonade. Yeah, sorry.
For the going back to your point about the African market, it's pretty good move because I think they are one of the biggest markets out there for mobile payments. I think they've been doing mobile payments for years now. Like the usual, like with the Nokia 3310 or whatnot, they were already sending payments through that through a text message. So for me, like Square going into that market, it's a huge opportunity.
It's huge. I believe Africa's continent, the market there is so huge and it's really untouched. Maybe because due to a lot of corruption in politics. But after China, I mean, if you're looking at the next, big boom upwards, is Africa.
Yeah, for sure. Like it's such a rich country, but like you said, there's like political issues, corruption, whatnot, and very underdeveloped areas. But the next big boom is probably that market.
Yes, I agree.
And I have a question again about Tesla, but which is actually something I had to ask in the first video, is why was actually Tesla misunderstood from the start? And then I have another comparison with Apple, but that will be a bit later.
For sure. Tesla is pretty straightforward. I remember this picture that they posted. The industries Tesla were disrupting. Obviously, you're going to piss a lot of people off. In fact, if you look at Tesla Q, they are short. They are actually funded by a lot of these industries. You notice in the lawsuit, and after that, recently in recent likes, following Homa's blog, something like that, you actually realize a lot of Tesla Q people are funded by these industries. I remember one of their cars exploding. Actually, they took a bullet and fire into the battery pack. All those cases are all coming to light now. I mean, if you're going to disrupt like car dealer networks, you're going to disrupt everybody out there, the oil industry, and everybody, you're going to piss a lot of people off. So that was why was it misunderstood, because there was a very big media narrative against Tesla, and it doesn't help that they do not pay for advertising. So the media people are like, okay, oil people are paying me. So usually they will move towards where the money comes. So yeah, there was for Tesla's case specifically, is the amount of people that they were disrupting.
targeting. I saw this week like JP Morgan's price target for Tesla is what, $80, $90 or whatnot. but they put NIO at around about $80 as well or something. Then you see what stock and what company they're backing. You see they're completely backing NIO and they never backed Tesla, and then you see the conflict of interest. Pretty stupid, like how, because you see Goldman Sachs has now a price target for Tesla for I think $700, close to $800. Then a bank like JP Morgan, $80, which for me makes totally no sense. But hey, pretty easy to pick on Tesla when they disrupt everyone and you're not happy with that. So pretty easy from their side. But going to my comparison, I want to know actually what you think of that. So I was thinking about when Nokia was the biggest out there regarding phones. Then came Apple, disrupted obviously the whole smartphone industry, came out with the iPhone. But then they started releasing more and more products: MacBook, iPhone, iPod Touch. Not every time they come up with new things. So I want to compare that a bit with Tesla as well. They disrupted the car industry, and then people say, oh, but they're just a car company. What can they do more? So obviously we've heard this a couple of times, that Tesla is this company that has dozens of other startups inside the company. So for me, I was like, okay, so maybe we can compare that for the easier people that want to understand it to Apple releasing and maybe doing better products, because laptops is not like a phone. Laptop is another company, another industry, headphones, earpods, whatnot. Same thing here with Tesla. They come out with a car, then they have software, full self-driving, solar panels, Starlink, SpaceX, whatnot. So I wanted to hear your thoughts on this matter of they being maybe the new Apple, going into that $1 trillion industry and disrupting more and more with all of their startups inside the company.
I could relate this to my business experience, and anybody who is listening, you're going to business entrepreneurship, you could actually you can use this. You'll notice that let's talk about Apple first. If you're looking at Apple when they started off the iPhones and stuff, and you remember those days they had iPods and creative technology. Creative technology, if you remember, like 10, 20 years ago, it's a Singapore company with the sound card. So we were like worldwide, and we created a MP3 player that was better than Apple in every single way, but never sold it just flopped all the way. So the difference between Apple and creative is that Apple were competing against themselves. So they were asking their questions like, how do I give the user a better experience? And they were always asking that end question, like, how do I make a better product for my customers? And people like Creative or Microsoft, they will ask this question: how do I create a product better than Apple? So the mindset is totally different. Apple were they didn't view competition as competition, and you start to realize the narrative is same for Tesla. So for Apple, when they design something, they didn't really care. Like they don't care. Like if you're looking at the iPhones now and the Android, and when iPhones come out this function, people on Android be like, yeah, we had that function years ago. But Apple really doesn't give a damn. What they want is they're looking for the user experience, and they're aiming what is the best thing we can do for our users. I mean, if you're looking at what Apple is, they are actually aiming to be a healthcare company. I mean, they have, you look at their devices they're having now, even the Apple Watch and stuff, they are transiting to a company to be a healthcare company. So you basically, Apple detect your flaws before you fall sick, something like that. Like, I know the Apple Watch saved thousands of lives.
They also released yesterday their iFitness Plus program, like to compete with Peloton, for example.
Yes. Yeah. So Apple is on their own, in their own world. They don't care what the world comes up with. They don't give a crap ass. So same thing is for Tesla. Tesla, this is some information that I can share. So for Tesla wise, they create products and they don't really care about competition. They were just thinking like, how do I optimize it? How does actually Elon has said many times, if we don't love the product, we don't think about do they think that the customer will love the product? They have to love their product too, and they got to design the product to be customer centric. Like, for example, he was talking about a fender bender previously. Like if you hit a fender and the repair cost be a lot of money because it's linked to these parts of the cars. So you can design something to be cheaper in case there's an accident. So they do all these small little optimizations here and there, which the end user like us will never feel it, but when shit happens, we know that they care. And I do know people in other automotive company. And another software company. I can't tell you how I exactly know all this. It's quite I got to keep it under. But people at these old companies, they are at the management level. They are like, shit, this is what Tesla is doing. We need to do better than them. So they are having the same wars as what we have seen previously. Those people trying to compete with Apple. How can we outdo Tesla? Every of them is doing now. Toyota, Hyundai, you're talking about Volkswagen Group. They're all talking about how do we win Tesla. They are not asking the same questions as Tesla is doing. How do we give the customer a better experience? Yeah, like recently, the Volkswagen, they just talk about, we are going to transit and be profitable. What? I mean, it shouldn't be about money. It's all about the customer experience, and thereafter value comes back to the company. Yeah.
Yeah,
there was a rant.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Like a company is not really trying to improve their customers' experience when they talk about money before they talk about innovation and trying to build better cars for the users. Like, for example,
Yes.
Volkswagen. Like, everybody is so focused on catching Tesla that they'll just release cars, but eventually this car will not be good enough, so they have to start again and again. Tesla will just move forward and like be light years ahead of the competition.
Yes, Tesla doesn't really have competitor. Their competitor is themselves, because they just want to improve on themselves. They don't really care about what's happening outside. The same thing, it has a very Apple culture to Tesla. It's just them focusing on what they do. In fact, if you want to really know deep down into Apple's culture, you can watch one guy which I really recommend a lot, Simon Sinek. He talks about business, and he's a business advisor to a lot of board members I'm not business advisor, but he gives talks, motivational talks, business talks to the management there, and he knows what's going on really deep into Apple, and he actually feedback to the world, like, this is how Apple thinks. So this is what Tesla is doing, this is what Lemonade is doing, and this is what Square is doing.
And regarding Tesla and Starlink, SpaceX, what do you think is going to happen if they IPO, and when they will IPO? Do you think we'll get a piece of the cake when they go public, when one of those two companies will go public? Because I seen yesterday they want to raise more money for SpaceX at a $92 billion valuation, which was like, whoa, pretty insane.
Okay, that news I'm still trying to digest. The reason why is that I believe Elon Musk, if you're talking about SpaceX, I believe Elon Musk wants to have control of the company. He has like more than 50% of the shares. So once he raises capital, he's going to dilute the shares, and he may not have majority control. So I haven't really digested that news yet. I'm still going to read up about it, but I'm not too sure how they're going to raise $94 billion without diluting himself. Or maybe they can come out a section of Starlink and they raise $91 billion with Starlink. Okay, that is possible without diluting Elon away. But Starlink worth $90 billion. I'm not really sure, man. I'm not sure how they're going to raise that kind of capital. You have any idea?
No, because like for now it's Starlink and SpaceX, or maybe like you said, like they cut one part away, and that's maybe how they're going to do this. But I don't know. It's pretty insane. But if you look at the bigger picture, it's basically market cap point of view is not from this world, but it's also from a outside galactic world that could potentially be there if we can believe Elon Musk. We probably will in a couple of years when we go on Mars or whatnot. Maybe $92 billion isn't that much money.
Yeah, I mean, considering where Tesla is right now, It's not a lot. But regarding we have a piece of it. I really wrote my piece on how we could have access to Starlink IPO. There's a lot of okay, I have more good than bad feedback, but some people say it's not going to happen. My personal take is still strong on, if you're a Tesla shareholder, you will be rewarded with Starlink shares. I do not know how they're going to transit this across, but I'm pretty sure it's going to happen that way. That means Elon wants to reward the Tesla shareholders.
Yeah,
we can see him thanking Tesla shareholders a lot. The reason how we see that is when he did the how to say, he did talk about taking care of retail investors many times. So and he appreciates us for holding partly due to the lack of shares this week, because a lot of shareholders like us, we're not going to sell, man. If it reaches $1,000, I'm not selling too. I don't give a crap.
Every time it dips, we buy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. I told myself I will not buy anymore, but I keep buying. Damn taste.
No, because like I was like when I saw the Starship crash, I was like, okay, Tesla's gonna be on sale this week for sure. 2 days later, it's like you bought at $569.
Yes. I love that number.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't? Now I'm waiting for Tesla to reach $669.42.
Oh yeah, it's yeah. The 6. Yeah, I like 6 9s and 4 2s.
Okay, so before we wrap up, I did like a video a month or so ago when I took future price predictions for next year. So like I recorded already part of that video, like everybody wrote down their price predictions for next year. So like I record it now, and then the video only gets released a year from now, so people can see if their price predictions were correct or not. So I'm just gonna ask you your price predictions for 1 year from now for like Tesla, Square, and Lemonade.
For Lemonade wise, I would, among the 3 companies, I would say that Lemonade would, to me personally, rise more as a percentage compared to Square and Tesla. Yeah, I do understand. The more people would like me to say Tesla, but no, I think Lemonade has a lot to go. Their path is pretty certain. Okay, sorry, let me go on the rant before I tell you my price prediction. So I actually going to do a video on this quite soon. So there's 3 phases. There's 3 phases of investors. So before the price goes up, so there's the first phase I call that the E phase. So they are looking like Lemonade, like what, the shit, like Tesla. Initial days, the next phrase is the woo. So like they are doing something. So woo. So that's the second phrase. The third phrase is oh no. The oh no phrase means the share price has shot really high, and I believe that Lemonade is still in the E phase, which is pretty good for a lot of us. The whole point is to enter before smart money comes in and shoot the price up. I believe Square is already at the woo phase. That means it's reaching its growth up there already. Tesla, no, is still going to $1 trillion. So in terms of like growth wise, Lemonade number 1, number 2 is Tesla. But Tesla has really moved up quite a lot this year, and Square, I think it's still a little bit overpriced. But my price target for Square this year was 150, and I'm happy. And now we are at 220. I'm like, oh man, yeah. So my price target for Square next year, 250, 300, around there. I don't see a lot of push upwards. The reason why you should buy into Square is you believe that it's going to be the next payment system of the world. And yeah, I mean, Square is pretty, the bull case is you need them to really conquer the Bitcoin world, the Cash App world. And I don't see that really happening really fast, because laws are laws, acquisitions takes time, and it's going to be a hard push. For Tesla next year, I probably see I easily hit $1,000. Like I will see $1,000 next year. I do hope that for Tesla there is a retracement. That means there's still retracements up and down.
Sure.
But I like volatility in Tesla. It really shakes a lot of the lousy investors out, and that's where Actually, I do see a lot of my audience now. I mean, there's a total shift of mindset. Each time it did, they just come into my content and my channel, and they say, I bought. So that's pretty amazing. I like that for my audience, because I hope retracements we just dollar cost average. So Tesla probably hit about 1,000 and retrace back down. So for Lemonade, I do see a $300 price target next year. That is my, yeah. But then again, I think I had this discussion with you privately many times when, I introduced Lemonade at about $70, $80. It dropped to 50. Everybody like, oh no, what happened? Then now it shot up so high. Everybody asked me, what happened? I tell them, nothing changed. It's just
a few moments later.
No, so now for Square, exactly, like we started covering the stock, like it was around 70, and then always it fell down, went up, fell down, and then every time it fell down, I have like these comments or, oh, why is it down? So cheap. What should I do? Should I sell? Oh, lots of people have lost money, etc. And then when it goes up, it's suddenly, whoa, what happened here? Like, why is it up? Like for me, those questions, like one of the questions the subscribers ask all the time is like, when a stock goes down, what do they do? When the stock goes up, what do they have to do? I think we've seen this recently as well with the volatility of the market. Like, what's your message to those, like, to answer those types of questions when the stock, you buy into a stock at 70, it goes down to 50, and same thing when you buy into 70 and it goes up to 90 or 100 in just a small time frame.
I guess that you really need to understand your investment. You don't like hear people say it's good, then you buy into it. From a long-term investor experience, it's better to buy and the stock price to go down. You do not want to start buying and the stock price going up, because you have a really big mental barrier after that. So after you buy and the stock price goes down, it is actually a good thing. So chill about it and just hold, just do nothing. I mean, a lot of people who invested in the stock market for a long time, they'll understand that do nothing earns more money. In fact, that I think there was this stat somewhere where I think dead people, the dead people account, right? People who died and you realize their account has left there and do nothing. They have earned a lot more than trying to be active about it. So it takes a lot of mental fortitude to do nothing.
Yeah. You know, like you talk about this a lot as well, like dollar cost average. It's like, it's pretty simple. Like if you, let's say for Lemonade, you bought in at $70, that means that at $70, you thought the price was fair enough for you. So you should be thankful you can buy again at $45 or $50, because it's like way cheaper, and you can buy even more for the same amount of money you bought in at $70. Like, it's always the same thing I answer, like be thankful you can buy it for cheap, because when a stock goes up suddenly after you bought it, like you said, you have this mental thing of, ooh, should I take profit right now? Should I have bought more? What do I do? And then your investment strategy just goes to the trash, because you start doing things you're not supposed to do. Like I speak also from experience. Like when I started, the same thing, I bought in, not enough, stock goes up, I bought more, and then it goes down, then I'm like, oh, what is this?
Yeah. But you also, when your stock, after you buy it and it goes up, you find it really hard to buy more. So that's actually bad. So I know it's quite controversial, but I rather you buy the stock and thing goes down, you buy more. Sounds simple, but actually that's the better way.
Yeah, for sure. Like for me, I wish Lemonade goes down to this 60, 70 mark right now, so I can buy more. I prefer this to happen than for it to go even higher towards the hundreds or whatnot.
I want to ask you. So, what is your price target for Lemonade and Square and Tesla?
So for Lemonade, for next year, like after I've seen this CEO, like I've talked about this in my last, I covered the Goldman Sachs conference. So he was asked about what's his Lemonade plans for 2021, and he started laughing. And then the other guy was like, "Ooh, I like that laugh. That means that there is something big coming up." So he started laughing even more. And then he's like, "There are some things I cannot say here publicly." So I expect them to grow even more in the United States, probably open up a couple of other markets in Europe, and probably have some more policies available as well. So probably now we're like at $90. It would not be a surprise if they reach $200 to $300, and that would make them what, a $10-15 billion company, which is still very small if you compare it to other companies that are still not doing that much.
Exactly. Yeah.
But
you're right.
that goes to my last thing, is the issue with high stock prices. Like Square is just a $5 billion company. Right now, it's just a $5 billion, $100 stock price. For it to go and like maybe 20x to reach that $100 billion market cap, the stock price would be pretty high. And that's maybe like a mental thing for investors, like looking at, for example, Shopify or Trade Desk, Amazon. Those are like stocks that are trading in the thousands of dollars, but still have, maybe not Amazon, but Shopify has still a pretty low market cap compared to other stocks that are trading at higher prices but have a lower market cap.
Yes.
So
definitely.
Like it's something that they need to think about that.
Yes, I also need to like add one more. Sorry, you still haven't said your price target. I don't know your price target.
So for Lemonade, I would say between 250 and 300 for sure.
All right. Square and Tesla.
Square, I had my price target for this year at 200, so I was like, okay, but for next year, unless they have big acquisitions and they open up, I can't really see them go over 300. Tesla is
cool.
is $1,000 for sure.
Yeah.
That's like for sure, because like I think China is opening up now their Model Ys. I think they're finishing up their testing. Berlin is probably going to be done next year as well. Giga Texas is probably going to be also in the final stages. So $1,000 is for sure, which might see another stock split, who knows, sooner rather than later, because like with the price going up so fast, it wouldn't surprise me.
I probably add one more thing. There's some things that I do know, but I cannot say in public, because sometimes I get information here and there. But what I can just tell people is they have amazing plans and it's still cheap. I mean, you don't need more than that for me. What you want, if you want to know what's happened, you just wait. They will show it in the future. But their plans are amazing, and I really feel that they are still cheap to buy. Tesla.
Yeah. Like the whole energy side of the business is still something that people aren't really looking at it right now, which is another $1 trillion idea, if you ask me.
Yeah, a big hint is energy business. Actually, automotive also. There's really a lot going next year. It's crazy. It's really crazy what they could achieve, and it's I really can't wait to see them execute on all these fronts. Yeah, but this week is going to be fun. You're going to see the short squeeze, and you're going to see. I don't know what's going to happen. You never had such an inclusion before. Like
what
this week
what
for
day
Tesla.
is it? The S&P inclusion?
21st, but I think they can start buying on the 18th or something like that.
Okay.
Never in my life I will see something like that. I'm going in, so yeah, a lot of people are still confused. So let's watch the
week,
drama.
Yeah, exactly. Fun week ahead.
Yes. Also, I think just if you're gonna end off the video, I just want to end off with something for your audience, a bonus for them. I just want to talk about the US stock market, because a lot of people are talking about the crash. I keep hearing that every other month, every other week, I see one article on crash. But people do get attracted to such stuff. But I just want to explain to you the whole, the big picture, like the biggest picture you can look down at the stock market. Let's say if you are some higher being and look down at the stock market, I'm just going to give you the overall picture. US used to have US, so where they get the money from, they used to have money. They take money from the Europeans. That was long time ago. That was before the Chinese. So after a while, they were taking money from the Chinese as their sugar daddy to fund whatever they need to do. Because the economics 101 is, to earn money, you need to make stuff. But if you're not making stuff, you are not going to earn money. So
Nicola.
So they will take, yeah, exactly. So you get so Europeans are out, the Chinese, the China is out already. So now who is the next economy is going to take over the US balance sheet? Nobody. So the only person left is the Fed. So you see the Fed balance sheet is going up and up and up. And the only way to fund the US economy is through the stock market moving up. So no matter what happens, you notice a lot of policies are concentrated on the stock market to push it upwards, no matter what happens. So you can be quite safe that no matter what happens, the Fed has your back. So I'm not worried about any crash or what, but we are in a really totally different era in investing. Value investing is not really there, and it's like just need to buy innovative companies and trust that the Fed has your back to push the stock price upwards, because that is the only way to spur spending in the United States. Yeah. So that is from a very huge view down, and people worry about the crash. It's okay, just do nothing.
It's funny because I thought about this exact same point. Like, people talk about crashes, but I think, like you said, we've entered a new period of time where, if you ask me, I might be very, very optimistic, but I don't really see us having any big crashes happening. I won't say ever again, but not in the short term at all, because there are some people that will just never let it happen for their own sake, and obviously the Fed won't let it happen as well. And like we've seen, there's a bubble, I think, for the last seven years or something like that. So if you want to keep listening to that, you missed out on 7 years of bull market, and you're probably going to miss out on another 7 to 10 years of the same thing. Yes, there are going to be ups and downs, but that's usually what happens
So just do understand that the stock market is the only way to spur the US economy, to spur spending. Now that's it, because unless US starts production again, they start making stuff, which I see Tesla is doing, but California is not giving them a nice time.
Everybody's
don't
leaving
worry too much.
California.
Yeah. Leave. I mean, screw that state. Sorry to my California friends, but
I think they would agree that they're paying too much taxes. They work hard and they get their money taken away. So
some move to Nevada. Some of them move to Texas and stuff. Yeah, it's about time, man.
And I think this week, Oracle has moved to Texas as well. Obviously, Elon has moved to Texas, so pretty good. All right.
Good.
I think we can wrap up this time. Again, thank you very, very much for taking your time. I think this will be up Thursday. So if you do your video Friday, I will send you the link before if you want to post it or whatnot. Be very good. And I will make a thing, because I know you do this for animal care. Like, for every like you put, like, for every like is 1 cent. So I'll do the same thing, and I'll do even one better. If after this video goes online, whatnot, if I can reach 10,000 subs by the end of the year, I'll donate $500 to the charity of your choice, the animal one.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. I think it's something very, very good. I think it's something that I will be doing as well when this channel grows and become more sustainable, like giving away. It's also why I want Cash App to come into Europe, so I can start doing these giveaways for people that maybe, I don't know, need food or whatnot. I think so the thing I can give back for them that are watching my videos and whatnot.
Yeah, definitely. There are a lot of people in a more worse situation than us, and the least you can do is just be grateful for where we are and just help people that are below us.
Exactly. I know that's what you're doing. I know there's a lot of people like you in a good financial situation that just live their life and whatnot, but like what you're doing is pretty cool, like giving all this information for free, and then obviously what you earn from these videos you give away for good causes. And I think I want to do the same thing moving forward as well.
This is one of the reasons why I like to support you. The things you cover, because you see, as a YouTuber, there's a lot of things that we can do to boost views. Like, there's 10x new, the next 10x stock, or that kind of stuff. We don't do that. There are a lot of people who do topics like that just to get the views in and subscribers up, but they haven't been through a market that is shitty. So once the market turns on them, a lot of people are going to lose money. And Nicola is one of the first few. And you look at I know people might not like me say, but Helion is the other one. we see the stock price coming down. So it's all hype initially. They don't understand what is sustainable. So I don't do YouTube views for the views, but really give value, and over time people will understand that. And it's just the way I feel that it should be done. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And I know your values are right. So it's awesome, man.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So I wish you Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I hope 2021 will be a much better year for the planet, but an even better year for the stock market. And yeah, for sure, we'll talk soon. And to all the donkeys out there, and enjoy. And that's it. Thank you again
All right.
for this.
Thank you.